Alright, this is the third mission in the Cardassian Struggle episode, Jabberwocky. The Orb of Possibilities must be returned to the temple in Hathon. I have notified Vedek Krin. She is waiting for you in the temple.
How can I help you? You have recovered the Orb of Possibilities from Gul Kardec. No doubt, you are being pursued by True Way forces. You must return the orb to the temple in Hathon. I have notified Vedek Krin. She is waiting for you in the temple.
Sounds good.
How can I help you?
We've arrived in the Bajor system, sir. We are... sir, I'm detecting Cardassian warp signatures. It's the True Way. They're hailing us.
I am Gul Mutak of the Kriegar, Adjutant General to Gul Kardec. You are carrying stolen property belonging to the True Way. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Are you insane? We're in orbit of Bajor. We could have ships here in a moment. He's cut off communication and is powering up weapons. What are your orders, sir? Hail Deep Space Nine.
Sarish here.
Commander, we've been ambushed by the True Way in orbit of Bajor.
In the orbit of Bajor? But how could they? Nerve of the... Sorry, I'm okay. I will borrow the Defiant and be there momentarily.
Thanks. We'll hold out as long as we can.
Good. You're still in one piece. Let's teach these Cardis a lesson.
I appreciate your zeal, Commander, but let's not get carried away. I don't know why I didn't say that. Okay. So long to die.
That's the last of them for now. I will remain in orbit while you return the orb, just in case.
Thank you, Commander. Beaming down. Vedek Krin indicates she's waiting for you at the temple. Bring the orb to the temple and speak to Vedek Krin. Acknowledged. Ooh, I don't have a crew with me. Interesting. Ooh, this is nice.
Hello there, friend. Do you need assistance?
What do you do?
I get my hands dirty for the good of Bajor. We have a full-time botanist on staff here, but I'm the one who helps translate the science into practical applications farmers in this region can use to improve their crops. I've loved green and growing things since I was a child. Some of my earliest memories are of helping my grandmother in the garden, as she taught me the names of all the plants and how to care for them. No matter how much Bajor advances, it will always be a world that respects and values its forests and farms. We live in harmony with our world, just as the prophets intended.
As the prophets intended. Cool. Protesting.
How can I assist you today? I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking to you, but I always wanted to join Starfleet, so this is my first week on the job. I was expecting to get months more training, but Colonel Kuba says he needs every militia member on the streets. I thought this was going to be a great job. I get to help my friends and neighbors and serve the community. But now, with the Klingons here, they're so angry, and I don't want to die.
Jeez. What are they angry about? I know I'm supposed to go the other way, but I like to talk to the people in this town. I wonder what they're protesting about. Just trying to restore the peace. Normally working security here in Hathon isn't too difficult. We break up a few fights now and then, mediate disputes between citizens, and coordinate with militia command in the capital. Now, though, we're working double or triple shifts, and it's still not enough. What are these Klingons doing? I wonder if this is just the reused of a map from another, It is. That's right. This map does get reused in another story. What is your role here on Bajor?
Back in my day, things were different.
Okay. Now that Bajor is part of the Federation, my job is here to keep the peace. It's harder with Starfleet and the KDF planet side. There are still Bajorans who remember the occupation. I grew up in a refugee camp, and I have friends and family who don't like the idea of any outside organization establishing a base on Bajor, friend or foe. The Federation respects that, for the most part. Kurlan has kept his people on DS9. That's fine with me. The militia is more than willing to leave anything that happens off-world to Starfleet. But now you're here in the city. That means you're my problem. Why are people upset by our arrival?
Peace and quiet. That's what we need.
Our world has changed more in the last 50 years than it did in the 500 years before it. The end of the occupation and the return of the emissary, the Dominion War, joining the Federation, the Undine, the war with the Klingons. Bajor is a different planet now. Some would say it has changed too much. Some people say we're the ones who were left behind. What is now the militia was formed out of the resistance to the Cardassian occupation. We protected the planet, worked on DS9 side by side with Starfleet, and even began sending out our own ships. Joining the Federation changed all that. Now the militia isn't needed anywhere but on Bajor. Hundreds of militia officers applied to join Starfleet after we signed the Federation Charter. Most of the best of our young people go to the Academy. The militia is a planetary organization now. We patrol the cities, help in times of crisis, handle functions like immigration and security, and we don't ever leave home. Starfleet can take care of space. Those of us who are still in the militia are here because we love Bajor. I don't need to explore the galaxy. Everything I could possibly want is right here. Wonder why we're talking to these people. I think it's from another mission, but I'm not sure. None of this stuff is voice acted. I wonder if that's why some of these missions are not like. A couple of them are kind of like downplayed. So this is like a hybrid area, I think. It's kind of like a. It looks like it's almost like a social zone. These are actual people.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets?
What do you do?
I am a seeker of knowledge. I spend my days in service and prayer. The prophets have many things to teach us, but their lessons are subtle and full of mystery. It takes a quiet, attentive mind to understand. I am not as wise as Ranjan Ravel, but he is always willing to help pilgrims like me find our way. I may never fully grasp the wisdom of the prophets, but I can try. The journey to enlightenment is a blessing in of itself. If that is all I ever have, it is enough.
Okay.
Greetings.
I'm looking for Vedek Krin.
Vedek Krin is in the temple office, just to the east of here.
Thank you. What does this lady say?
Thank you again for
Oh,
your
yeah.
part in saving the Ennis, the Noel-Ennis, and of course, myself. I am glad the Prophet sent you to us, and I hope they continue to protect you in your travels.
I'm glad I could help.
How can I help you?
What do you do?
Peace be with you.
Okay. My task is to try to convey the wisdom of the prophets to the people of Hathon. The ways of the Celestial Temple are mysterious. What can be understood, however, is love. The prophet's love surrounds us. It is in every rock and tree of Bajor. It is on a warm summer breeze, and in the smile of a loved one. When the emissary walked among us, he was the voice of the prophets. Now it falls to servants like me to try to follow his footsteps. That's weird.
How can I help you?
Can you tell me about these books? Wait a second, aren't I supposed to be talking about
These
this
are
guy?
all ancient tomes, dealing with the prophets and our history with them. My people have studied the ways of the Celestial Temple for thousands of years. Much of that knowledge has been retained. We are fortunate to have the words of our ancestors preserved in this fashion.
I'd like to read them. Ooh. Wow.
How may I help you?
I'm here to return the orb to the temple.
Wonderful. The prophets have smiled upon us this day. What was lost has been returned to us. You have done a great service for the Bajoran people today, and we are most grateful.
It was an honor and a privilege to carry this burden.
Please, place the orb upon the altar.
With pleasure. Jeez. I've returned the Orb of Possibilities.
The service rendered is not the service desired. What does not belong cannot be returned.
I don't understand.
What has been returned does not belong. We must travel backward.
When we gaze in the mirror, we see our faces as others do, but reversed.
Your task abides. You have recovered an orb. Now you must return it.
As you must return.
Okay.
I would be honored to know what the prophets shared with you, if you are willing. Sometimes their visions can be very confusing, and I have some experience interpreting them.
It was cryptic. It was very cryptic. Ha! But they seemed to suggest that this is not their orb, that I must return it elsewhere.
Elsewhere? But it is an orb of the prophets. Where else could it belong? Unless... Are you familiar with the so-called mirror universe? I know very little about it myself, but there is a book on that table over there by a Vedek Krin describing his experiences. Perhaps it can guide you.
Okay. I've been fascinated by the existence of this so-called mirror universe ever since our recent contact with it. I've interviewed the emissary, Colonel Kira, and others about their experiences with the mirror universe, but many questions remain. It seems the mirror universe has prophets, but are they the same prophets? There's no mention of a celestial temple, and certainly the mirror Benjamin Sisko was no emissary. I shall petition the Vedek Assembly for permission to enter the mirror universe. The Vedek Assembly has denied my request. Besides the debates about doctrine and theology, the deciding factor was political. The Federation has quarantined any access to the mirror universe, and Bajor is seeking membership. I've continued my research by interviews, but my questions remained unanswered. I fear I have no choice but to renounce my seat in the Assembly and pursue entrance to the mirror universe on my own. I do not have the technical prowess to create one of those multidimensional devices myself, but I have an engineer friend who owes me a favor. I am lucky to be alive. I managed to cross over to the mirror universe, but Terok Nor, as they call Deep Space Nine, has been taken over by the Terran Rebellion. They are using it as a base of power, attempting to reassert their control over the Bajor sector. Bajorans are not trusted. They are used mostly for mining and ore processing, a cruel irony given Bajor's history in both universes. But I was able to join with the Bajoran workers and get some of my questions answered. The Bajorans of the mirror universe are much like us. It sounds like their prophets are also most similar. They even have orbs such as we have here. However, to them, the celestial temple is a myth or metaphor, not a physical place such as ours. I do not know if this is because it simply hasn't been discovered, or if the prophets of that universe have sealed themselves away for some reason. The only way to find out is to either cross over with a spaceship or somehow procure one there. I have received a curious message from somebody from the mirror universe offering me assistance. Note: shortly after making this entry, Vedek Krin disappeared and was never heard from again. Uh-oh.
Sarah's here.
We believe the orb is from the mirror universe. We think we can pass into it through the anomaly we found earlier.
Acknowledged. Be careful. The mirror universe is known to be more treacherous than our universe, and you will be cut off from any support here.
I appreciate the concern, Commander, but we will be fine. Yes, beam me up and set a course for the Badlands. That looks funny. With the wings flying out.
Sarish here. What is your status?
We've entered the Badlands and are heading to the anomaly.
Acknowledged. Keep comm lines open as long as possible.
Acknowledged.
We have limited intelligence on the mirror universe, but from what we know, it appears the Terran rebellion spread from Terok Nor, eventually forming a new empire. The Terran Empire has reoccupied Bajor. I believe this Captain Lita is the administrator of the Bajor sector.
I am Gul Haneri of the Torn, Chief Tactical Advisor to Gul Kardec of the True Way. You are not welcome here. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Red alert. Not likely, Princess.
I believe Gul Kardec must have used the orb of the mirror universe to somehow create the anomaly leading back there. He then must have formed an alliance with the Terran Empire. Stay on your guard. We expect it.
Sir, I believe we could activate the portal by bombarding it with tachyon radiation. Make the necessary modifications to the deflector dish. Bombarding. Ooh. Everything's purple. Teal.
Greetings. I am Captain Lita of the Terran Empire. What a pleasure it is to have visitors from your universe. When Gul Kardec said you might be along, I didn't really believe him. But I couldn't afford to take the chance. Surrender. Now. And I will guarantee the safety of your crew.
We will never surrender.
What a pity. We could have had so much fun together. And now, I have to destroy you.
You can try.
shall have to provide a demonstration, apparently. Kardec warned me not to underestimate you. I won't make the same mistake next time we meet.
Okay. Let's go to Mirror Bajor. Oh. Cool. Apparently I don't fly there. I just go there. I don't know why it does that. It's like... Okay. We have arrived on Bajor in the Mirror Universe. From what I've been able to pick up on comm chatter, Bajor was reconquered by the Terran Empire and is occupied by them again. We should be on our guard. Acknowledged. It's the same guy. Oh, jeez. No, it's a red light district. The blue antenna. That's funny. Ooh, an ambush. It's exciting.
Enemy target on sensor. Shield losing
Sir, those appear to be true-way soldiers. Could they have followed us through the portal? I believe it's more likely they were Gul Kardec's troops waiting for us. Let's see what the mirror version of this guy says.
I'm very busy. What do you want?
Ooh, he's mad now.
What does it look like I'm doing? Microsurgery? I get my hands dirty, and I show farmers how to grow crops. We have a botanist, but he's one of those ivory tower scientific types that wouldn't know a hoe from a rake. I wanted to be an engineer, but when the Terrans retook Bajor from the Klingon-Cardassian alliance, opportunities suddenly dried up. So I fell back on the family tradition of gardening. No matter how many times Bajor gets conquered, it always seems to be a cultural backwater that relies on manual labor. We live in harmony with our world, just as the prophets intended, whether we like it or not.
Jeez. Different take on the same thing, a little bit. It's a checkpoint of some kind.
Gul Kardec was right. You are formidable, but pitifully predictable. Terran forces, attack the invaders! I want them alive.
Okay. Where are they? Oh, they're there.
Guards! Guards!
Whatever.
What do you want? I'm very busy.
What do you do?
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking to you. You don't look like Terran Empire. This is my first week on the job. I was expecting to get months more training, but Commander Kuba says he needs every Terran Empire member on the streets, especially the Bajoran ones. He thinks it will pacify them to see Bajorans on their force. I thought this was going to be a great job. I get to help my friends and neighbors and serve the community. But now all my Bajoran friends see me as a traitor, and the Terrans see me as a spy.
Interesting. Any other takers?
We will meet again. Soon.
Sure we will. Make sure those tribbles temples aren't in the main bay there. Alright, where am I going? Ooh, there's less stuff in here. Interesting. It's all kind of like blocked off. Okay, so that one. Oh, and just the temple. That's kind of it. Ah, rats. I should have talked to that Bajoran citizen in the other one. So we could get comparisons of both sides.
You! You have interfered with my plans for the last time!
Sure about that, buddy? This guy's tough. Set him on fire. Let's do it. Machine gun dude. We'll have everybody's just kind of like walking around like there's no big deal. But yeah, no problem. We'll just walk past this firefight.
Stop! Fighting is not permitted here.
Aha! He's a freaking changeling.
This is not your affair.
What? A changeling? We should totally have, like, fall to our knees as Jem and R being like, hey, found her. Guess they can't have every possibility, right? Ooh, you got one. You get him? There you go. Capture changeling. That doesn't seem right. Go talk to that Bajoran lady. Or guy over here. What does he say? What do you have to say, Bajoran citizen?
What do you want with me?
Tell me about this place.
This is the heart of Hathon. The buildings surrounding this plaza were the first buildings constructed in our city. Here, our ancestors raised their families and gave thanks to the prophets for their many blessings. Once, people came here to talk to their neighbors, and we gathered here each year for the Gratitude Festival. But now it is only a place of dark memories. When the Terran Empire conquered Bajor the first time, they posted the new laws here. When the food rationing started, we came here to collect the scraps they gave us. When they took our sons and daughters to the mining camps, the trucks stopped here to collect them. And when the Terran Empire conquered us again, they hung the bodies of those who opposed them here to remind us to keep in our places. I come here to reflect on the fallen and the price of freedom.
Interesting.
Thank you. I feel much better. But a changeling? Here, we only have stories. In any event, what was the purpose for your visit?
I have come to return your orb.
The Orb of Possibilities? But that was lost decades ago, during the first occupation of Bajor. However did you come by it? Never mind. The prophets teach us not to look at their workings too closely. Don't just stand there. Place it on the altar.
You are most welcome.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophet? I am a seeker of knowledge. I spend my days in...
She says the same thing.
Greetings. Vedek Krin is in the temple of...
Huh. A little bit glitchy is what it sounds like. Ooh, I wonder if there's a same book of the guy over here. Ooh, the other universe right there. There's another universe that lies alongside ours. There have been several crossover events throughout the centuries. These interactions have often been pivotal to our history. I was unable, amidst the recent turmoil, to interview people directly about their experiences with beings from the other universe. The Terran Rebellion took over Deep Space Nine and subsequently reoccupied Bajor, and weren't very interested in questions of a pesky Vedek. The discovery of the Celestial Temple in their universe led to the discovery of the Celestial Temple in our universe. This left us with many questions. Why weren't these events synchronous in both universes? Are there other secrets that we could learn from this other universe? I shall petition the Vedek Assembly for permission to enter the other universe. The Vedek Assembly has denied my request. Besides the debates about doctrine and theology, the deciding factor was political. The Terran Empire considers the secret of crossing to the other universe a state secret. Bajor is already struggling under their thumb, and the Vedeks don't want to create any further problems. I have abandoned my attempts to cross over at this time, and instead I am simply trying to make contact with the other universe. Perhaps, if I can contact my own counterpart, we could join forces. I have managed to make contact with my counterpart in the other universe. I didn't reveal my identity, but I offered myself assistance should I make the crossover. My counterpart revealed many things about the other universe. The Bajorans are part of the Federation, a peaceful and seemingly weak counterpart to the Terran Empire. The Cardassians occupied Bajor in their universe. Their celestial temple led to the Gamma Quadrant, where a race called the Dominion dwelt and fought a war with the peoples of the Alpha Quadrant. Among this empire, called the Dominion, the leaders were from a species that called themselves the Founders, but others called them Changelings. A being called Odo, who worked on their Terok Nor, was apparently one of these creatures, but did not know his origin. Their basic form appears to be liquid, but they could shift to virtually any form. The ability of these changelings to make the shape of various key personnel caused the other peoples no end of problems. I must notify the Assembly of my findings. After reporting his findings, Vedek Eth disappeared from under mysterious circumstances. Foul play was suspected, but never proven. This guy had bad luck in both universes. Alright, well, that was fun. Alright, let's put that orb back. It's already there. Is it? Oh, wait. No. Investigating a Golkardek's pad.
From Golkardek to Golpalat, I have run into some complications. Namely, some agents have interfered with my plans. They have stolen the Orb of Possibilities. I assume they have returned it to the Bajorans by now. Fortunately, the anomaly remains stable. I was able to retreat to the Mirror Universe, where I have taken shelter with my Terran allies. However, I believe they are waiting for my return. Therefore, I need you to meet with Dumatsu Khan at the facility in the Devos system in my stead. Coordinates are attached.
Dun dun dun. The plot thickens. There we go. I have returned the Orb of Possibilities again. Ooh, another vision. Ooh, it's blue
We
now.
are most grateful. We had thought the orb lost forever. You have restored the balance.
Your enemies lie in wait. They want to prevent your return.
Okay.
But we shall restore the balance as you did.
You have returned our orb.
Now you must return.
Sir, what just happened? You opened the orb case, and suddenly everything went white, and we appeared on the ship in orbit. We appear to be back in our own universe. I believe the Mirror Prophets returned us. We must consult with Vedek Krin. Ooh, perfect. I can go talk to that guy. See what he says about this universe.
May the prophets bless you.
Tell me about this place.
This is the heart of Hathon. The buildings surrounding this plaza were the first buildings constructed in the city.
Okay,
Here
so that part's
are
the same.
ancestors, but it is also a place of dark memories. When the Cardassians had new laws we had to follow, they posted them here. When the food rationing started, we came here to collect the scraps they gave us. When they took our sons and daughters to the mining camps, the trucks stopped here to collect them. And when Gul Perek executed 15 farmers, he hung their bodies here to remind us that the Joran lives were meaningless to him and his thugs.
Jeez. Wow, this guy's a downer on both universes.
Greetings. I did not see you enter the temple.
I believe the Mirror Prophets returned me here.
Indeed. I know little of the Mirror Prophets, but if they are like ours, then this is a great honor. Rarely do the Prophets interfere so directly. I take it your mission was a success?
Yes, the orb is back in its proper place.
Then you have the gratitude of 2 Bajors. May the Prophets continue to smile upon you.
Thank you, Vedek Krin. Yeah, we're done.
So, Gul Kardec was a changeling. This does not bode well. An alliance between the True Way and the Alpha Dominion could prove disastrous for the Alpha and Beta Quadrants. However, the orb has been returned to the Mirror Universe, and you have returned to ours. Nevertheless, we must stop this alliance before they can do any further damage. We shall analyze the pad you retrieved to see if we find this Ketracel White factory.
Cool. Alrighty, that's it. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy.